So you were talking about, do you run the pitchers meetings like at the beginning of a series?
Yeah,
What does a catcher do?
I don't initiate. We have outstanding pitching coaches that initiate, and then they say kind of their main things, and then myself and if whatever catchers there, like Luke Maley right now with me, then it's our turn. I just think it's nice to. It's different when it comes from a peer, and it's different when it comes from the dude that's actually back there going to war with you. When I say it out of my mouth, when I'm doing what I'm doing, that I'm saying this, I'm doing it for a reason. And so I think it goes a long way. So when we have our meetings, our pitching coaches will start with kind of the focal points, Trout, Ohtani, Rendon. We got to make sure we do this, this, and this. Here's the base runners. Here's who's super aggressive. Here's who's super patient. And then it's my turn to come in and kind of navigate how that's going to kind of flow. And a lot of it is dictated by the lineup. It's like, okay, guys, we got maybe the two best baseball players in the world hitting back to back. What does that mean? It's essentially we got to control Trout. We can't let Ohtani get on base, and we have to try and keep Trout hitting solo homers. If Trout hits solo homers off us, we can win the game. So it's basically, instead of really pitching around Trout and being afraid, it's like, let's just not let him have anybody on, because he's not going to hit 4 solo homers in a game. He might hit 1, might hit 2, but still probably not. So let's just get the other guys out. And we did a really nice job, except for getting Taylor Ward out because he hit 2 homers to win the game. But yes, if he doesn't, like we talk about, so Trout didn't beat us, someone else beat us, but that's okay for me. We attacked these guys, trying to get them out, and the guys understood that, and that's still okay. It's like you're going to go in bed being like, you know what? I challenged this dude to beat me. That's okay. But if I'm out there challenging, throwing middle fastballs to Mike Trout, and then he beats me, I'm an idiot. What am I doing? Of course that happened. So I think it goes a long way when the catcher kind of gives their point of view.
So give me a for instance. I don't know if you're in the lineup tonight with Tristan McKenzie out there, but whenever it is, do you have a meeting with that day's starting pitcher?
Yeah. So starting pitcher every day, bullpen, first game of series. So like a day like today with Tristan, so that's just kind of like knowing your pitchers, right? So like when you got a pitcher like Shane, you got breaking balls for days. You got to figure out a way to pitch, right? I got to throw some backdoor cutters. I got to mix in some changeups, because I don't want to just show all of our fastball, curveball, sliders all the time. Ideally, I'd like to save them, because if I throw you 2 or 3 in your first at bat, 2 or 3 in your second at bat, big league hitters start learning pitches. No matter how nasty it is, now they've seen it and they know, okay, that's what that thing does. It's tough to learn it if you've seen other things. But then you got a guy like Tristan, and it's completely different. This is just one of the flat out best fastballs in the big leagues. It could be 90 and it could be 96. It doesn't matter. He's going to blow it by you. So I need to figure out a way to make that play up and not be too stubborn with it, even though I know it's so good. And so that, in my conversations with Tristan, is going to be more like, when can we throw our breaking ball? When can we throw our slider? And where do we need to throw our heater to get our best value? Is this a down and away, up and in guy? Is this just straight blow his doors at the top of the zone the whole time? Kind of just knowing when to throw that heater. And then one thing I tell all these guys, whatever I say, it's first time through. So whatever I report is not a 2-time, 3-time, or 4-time at bat thing. It is a 1-time through, and then we talk and we adjust. If we went out there and went 9 up, 9 down, shoved, we look at each other and go, same thing, make an adjustment. If we threw a lot of shit and, they took some good swings, they worked some walks or something, it's like, hey, all right, Trout, we threw him 7 straight fastballs this at bat. We got to mix in breaking balls here. He's too good. We can't pitch him the same way too many times. So we got to mix. So here's our adjustment here. Now Ohtani, here's our adjustment here. Then after the second time through, if Tristan's still out there, once again, readjust. Okay, first time through, he went bunch of heaters. Second time through, bunch of breakers. So now maybe he's stuck in between. We got to kind of balance him out. What are we going to do? Curveball heater, maybe something like that. Then you got to see what stuff that pitcher's got today. If Tristan's going out there with 90, it's still going to be a really good fastball. But if he's going out there with 94, 95, those are some of the days where I might honestly call 90% fastball. And it's just that good. It's flat out that good. And it's like, if I got one of those, if Shane's going out there with his best slider and his best curveball, and he's throwing it for strikes too, I'm like, bro, we're just spinning everybody. You're not going to hit it. It's a wiffle ball. You just can't hit it. So knowing what I got that day, and the bullpen doesn't count. Sometimes like, okay, let's go see what we have in the bullpen. Sorry, it doesn't matter. Perfect example, Trevor Stephan yesterday said he had the worst bullpen of his life. And I don't know if you saw him pitch against Mike Trout, but it was one of the most disgusting split fingers you've ever seen in your life. And perfect example. If I knew he had a bad bullpen or something wasn't working there, you take that into the game. I don't know what you got in the game. Pitching in a bullpen with no hitter in there and no money on the line, that doesn't matter. Once you step on the mound and you got people yelling at you and it's time to go face Mike Trout, now I get to know what you have. So it's kind of just knowing what I got and keeping the communication going constantly.
It's really interesting shit. I think I've been around this game for 3 decades and I don't exactly know what goes on. So thanks for enlightening our crowd. That's cool. Have you used Pitchcom?
Love it. Yes.
Who digs it? Which of the pitchers really likes it?
Everyone. I think some guys were a little sketched out at first, but once I started using it, I was able to kind of convince them that I think it's actually a benefit. I think it is more beneficial to use Pitchcom than not. Like, I think it has run value. I think it's worth less runs over the course of the season. Example A, when you go face the teams that love picking signs, we don't need to name any names. They can't do it anymore. And they're really good at it. Let me tell you, the teams that are good at it are really good at it. I'm back there trying to come up with unique sequences. I'm going like, let's go 3-1, 2-1, 3-2-1. Like, and next pitch, try and call the same pitch with a different sequence. It's a lot of thinking going on away from simply just trying to get this motherfucker out, which is the only thing that matters. So with a Pitchcom, I can just be like, fastball down and outside. Like, nobody knows, and it's great. I can just we can float, and the pace is good. The pace picks up. I think with more people using Pitchcom should eliminate the concept of a pitch clock eventually.
Okay.
I think it's really speeding games up. Then the next part, you get 3 other position players to wear it to hear what's going on. Now I get Miles Straw, Gold Glove caliber center fielder, knowing slider or fastball is coming. That's leaning one way or the other, and that's at least one more step on that bases loaded double in the gap that he dives and catches versus 3 runs scored. So I tell my pitchers, I'm like, would you rather 0 runs scored or 3 runs scored? Oh yeah, interesting, right? Shortstop, second base, both get it. That's jumps in the infield. That's easier communication to be able to relay it to your corner infield. Easier information for the center fielder to relay it to the corner outfield, where essentially we could have 9 dudes on the field, all knowing every single pitch that's coming, and we're all leaning the same way together. And not only that, you can call pickoff plays. Sometimes it's tough to call pick plays and stuff because you got coaches, you got people watching, you got to be creative, like doing stuff. Now I can literally click for the second base and be like, hey, back pick. Boom. I'm like, okay. Great.
That's awesome. It's really good.
It's a real, I was a little sketched out, but I think it's an absolute game changer until someone taps into it, and that'll be hilarious.
Oh, they start stealing it. They start using interference. Oh,
I mean, come on now.
Don't take me down that road.
It's only a matter of time. People like winning, bro. It's just that people like winning. You can't blame them for liking winning.
It was so fun until, I loved every bit of what you just said until you ruined it.
I'm just being realistic. If you don't think people will try and find a way to cheat at some point, I think we're being naive. But
can I live in my little fantasy world, please?
You can live in your fantasy world knowing that people are still trying to figure this thing out. I'll tell you what, one weird thing about it. So the catcher has this like tube that goes down. So the tube like makes the sound specific into your ear. where the pitcher doesn't have that, so it's loud, right? Where like if
Right.
I had that one, the hitter could hear it. It's eerie, man. It's because it's so loud, specifically in my ear, that like in my mind, I'm like, there's no way this dude didn't just hear curveball. Like, I'm looking to see if he flashed like, thanks, bro. But it's so loud. But if that little tube just wanders above my ear, I can't hear anything. It's crazy. It's trippy. It's really trippy.
That's awesome. Funny. So I've had a couple of pitchers on since Pitchcom started. Giolito, Trevor May, and I asked them if there was a certain voice they would want. Giolito's dad used to golf with Samuel L. Jackson, so he's going to try and get him to record it. Trevor May said the late Gilbert Gottfried. He wants like curveball, which is a little strange to me. But
we use my voice. I recorded
it.
Yep. We even made one of the things. If a guy makes a good pitch, if I hold down one of the buttons, it goes, "Fuck yeah." Oh, it's so great, bro. Lavastida was catching Tristan one of his last outings. Tristan makes a big pitch, and he's almost never like excited on the mound. And Lava clicks the "fuck yeah" button, and Tristan doesn't know that it was a thing, and he's like, "Yeah!" It was so great.